It's the Brad and John Show.
It is the Brad and John Show. Today's date is the 23rd of December, and it is a Tuesday, so it's so happy it's Tuesday. John, and what do we do in the B Block? This is the B Block. What do we do?
It's time for Brad's Top 3.
A little bit of hesitation there, but we'll take it anyway.
It's time for Brad's Top 3.
It is. And we bring in the ladies because they know how to sing it not once, but twice.
It's time for Brad's Top.
And we start off with...
It's number 3.
Now, John, you'll accuse me of not doing show prep, but last night I could not get this to record, and I don't know why this is. I got my phone locked on me. I tried to get this thing taken off my phone because I found this on my phone, and I tried to transfer it over into the studio. And for whatever reason, every time I played this, it would not fully play, and it got screwed up. So here's what I'm going to do. Hopefully, I'm going to hit this button right here. I'm going to bring this up, and this is going to play. This is going to be an audible top 3, or at least number 3. Okay,
good.
Here we go.
Alfred Montgomery, data centers, redistricting, Kara Spencer wins, Tashara Jones loses, May 16th tornado, Sam Page indicted, St. Louis County budget woes, Mike Kehoe starts, J.B. Pritzker rises, Dick Durbin retires, Andrew Bailey leaves, Catherine Hanaway returns, Big Beautiful Bill happens, Josh Hawley and Eric Schmidt do and say stuff, Cori Bush challenges Wesley Bell, sports betting begins, Republicans target ballot initiatives, state oversees St. Louis police, Senate filibusters broken, norms shattered, precedents thrown away, Trump is back, and Denny Hoskins keeps wearing his awesome red coat? How am I supposed to understand what 2025 meant for Missouri, St. Louis, and Illinois politics?
You done? You done with your little mantram?
Yes.
Okay, that is Jason Rosenbaum. Do you like that?
Whoa, what's that sound?
He's doing it again. He's going nuts again. Okay.
Yeah, and folks can find the piece that's referenced in that clip by going to johncombest.com today, and you'll see Jason Rosenbaum's 2025 in summary.
Now, John, I'm going to do something I normally don't do. I'm going to break format a little bit because of the fact that I would go with my number 2 and then my number 1, but I'm afraid the time is going to not be on my side. So I'm going to try to do something right now, which I've never done before. I'm going to essentially not say number 2, number 1. I'm going to place a phone call here real quick.
Okay. I can't. Are you going to sing happy birthday?
No, but I'm afraid he might already be left for work. So I'm calling my... If not, I'll continue on. This is my youngest son, whose birthday is today. And he's not going to answer. Darn it. I think I missed him. He might be in the shower still. He goes to work early. It's going to go to voicemail, I can tell. Darn it. I really wanted to talk to him this morning. Yeah, here we go.
Please leave your message.
Yeah, okay, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my original number 2. Okay, here we go.
It's time for Brad's number 2. It's time for Brad's number 2.
I heard this yesterday on our very own station, on the Mark Lee Van Camp and Robin show yesterday afternoon when I was listening to our very own station we're on right now. And this, to me, is so funny. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did I put it? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay. They're talking about a memo that someone leaked to the press, an internal memo from National Public Radio. Are you ready for this, John?
Yeah, I haven't heard this.
Okay. The movie was from Standards Chief. They have a Standards Chief at National Public Radio. The memo was from Standards Chief Tony Caven in an email to staff obtained by Semaphore media reporter Max Taney on Monday, which was yesterday. Caven mandated no more quotes from University of Richmond law professor Carl Tobias once the year ends. So, in other words, you're going like, huh? Carl Tobias has been on NPR. Guess how many times this year?
I'll say a dozen.
77 times he's been on.
Holy cow.
And they call him, Taney reported Tobias has become, quote, a dial-a-quote for NPR reporters this year with 77 appearances on NPR. And here's in the memo. Professor Tobias's hobby seems to be getting himself quoted about anything and everything in news stories, Caven wrote to staffers. He noted NPR is not the only outlet that leans on Tobias. The professor also appears in stories from the New York Times and Washington Post, among other outlets. That's because Tobias seems to have a Kobe Bryant-like ability to put in the work. Professor Tobias, this is quote, Professor Tobias often emails reporters offering his expert opinion on stories of the day, and while I don't presume to judge his expertise in legal matters, the professor is certainly an expert at getting himself quoted, Caven said. In many of these quotes, he's described as an expert in whatever the story happens to be about. Some of the stories NPR turned to Tobias for his year included getting his take on presidential Donald Trump's lawsuit against the BBC. NPR says Tobias is a law professor who, quote, specializes in free speech issues in the story. Tobias has also weighed in on Trump taking on Harvard University and Trump settling his 60 Minutes lawsuit with Paramount, among his other dozens of stories. You know what this is called, John?
What's that called?
It's called lazy reporting. Lazy reporting.
Right. Now, yeah, go ahead. Tell us more about that, Brad. What do you mean by that?
Reporters, the crazy thing about it is you may wonder, or I don't wonder, I know the truth about this, about when you listen to NPR, when they always talk to an expert, it's an expert who's a professor. Now, the reason for that is, John, who currently, but maybe not in the future, owns the licenses to KWMU, KCUR, and the other national public radio stations owned by the University of Missouri. Who owns that license, John?
That would be UMSL.
So when they need an expert, they just, in the old days, they could walk out of their building, walk down the hall and find a professor. Now they have to get in their car and drive back out to the campus because they're not on the campus anymore. They just find a local yokel professor. Okay? Now, I will tell you an interesting story, how this impacts me. I, once upon a time, was that guy. And was interesting because of the fact that I am partly responsible for the fact that Jack Wang has a job at MoDOT. You want me to connect the dots on that, John?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. When I ran my traffic network, I was flew traffic from 80 to 84, and then the helicopter went away, and I started my own company, 84 to 94, called CompuTraffic. And at one point in time, I started literally in my garage up in Hazelwood on North Hanley Road and grew it to the point where I had 30 people working for me. We had a news operation, the whole bit. Okay, I became the traffic authority in St. Louis. When stuff happened, the Post-Dispatch would call me up all the time. I was quoted in the Post-Dispatch all the time. At the time, I was on Channel 2, then I moved to Channel 4, and I had at times, I was the traffic reporter on Channel 4. My very first news bite, or news hit I did on Channel 4 was in the 6 o'clock newscast when some power lines fell across 44 right there at River to Pear, and I was a featured reporter. I didn't even work at the station. So I became like the traffic guy. And to the point where when there was something that happened, there were 3 or 4 different Post-Dispatch reporters who called me up all the time. Now, the reason Jack Wang ultimately got his job, and this is not hearsay. This is something that was told to me by somebody at MoDOT. Somebody at MoDOT got mad about the fact that I was the traffic authority. And at that point in time, they had one part-time position at MoDOT for a public relations person. They got in their budget. And I think at one point in time, they had just in the St. Louis district, I think they hired 3 newbies who became the traffic authorities. And they positioned themselves as when you have a question about traffic, highways, interstates in the St. Louis area, instead of calling Brad, call these guys at MoDOT.
Yeah, that makes sense. Call people that really know what they're talking about. Don't call that guy up in Hazelwood.
So I was on the receiving end of that. Okay, I'm going to try my son one more time. And then,
try him, Brad.
And then I will give a little story about my son. Each one of my kids is different. Where's my phone? Here we go again. Let's do recent. Let's do this. Let's do this. Hit the button, and this should hopefully work. Okay. Come on, Drew, answer the damn phone. I called you last night. You didn't answer last night either. He sees my name come up on his phone. He's going, I'm not talking to my dad again. He's boring. He's not going to answer. Okay, Drew is my youngest son. Today he turns 32. Hard for me to imagine that. 32 years old. Drew is my second tallest son. My kids are all tall. My oldest son is 6'4". My middle son, Blake, who we had on the phone last week, is 6'8", and my youngest son, Drew, he's This is
Please leave your message for
his voicemail. He's 6'4", okay? Drew is an amazing kid. And I've never seen him like in a really bad mood. He's always real positive. Since Drew has been 17 years old, now he's 32, he's had some health issues. We've talked about this in the past. Matter of fact, not this summer, but past summer, I spent probably, and I'm not trying to, pat myself in the back or anything like that, but I probably spent, there was a couple of weeks where I'd get off the air with you, and every single day I'd take my son to another doctor's appointment or a hospital visit or something like that. And he never complained about his illnesses and stuff like that. And what's so interesting to me about it is, this is a kid that every job he's had, his boss will say, "Oh my God, your son is so good. We love having him around." He used to work at the optical department at the St. Charles Sam's store. And from time to time, as I would drive by there, if I had an appointment or something like that, I would just stop in and say hi to him. Sometimes he was his day off, and I'd walk in, and there were other ladies that worked there with him, and they would always tell me, "Oh my God, we love your son. He's so much fun. He's so great to work with. He's such a great worker." Okay? But if you ask my son about his job, he has one common response to every single job he's had. You know what that is?
What is it?
He hates his job.
But he doesn't signal it to people. They don't get that vibe from him.
No. I mean, you've worked with people that hate their job. They're, "Oh, I hate this place. Boss sucks. I don't know why I come to work every day."
Yeah, so he tells you privately that he's not happy about it, but others wouldn't know that.
He is a Bernie Sanders bro, because he thinks that if Bernie Sanders was the president, he would have his dream of having a check come in the mail every month that would take care of all of his living expenses, be able to pay for enough money to have his internet be as fast as it can, so he could sit around all day and play games on the internet. Just be a gamer, okay? That's all he wants to do in life. And at one point in time, I said to him, "You know what? I try to be supportive of all my kids. Why don't you try to be a professional gamer?" Because, John, there are some guys making some serious dollars doing that. The matter of fact, Lindenwood now has, I don't know if you knew this or not, they have their own esports arena. Did you know about this?
No, I didn't know they had an arena for it. That's amazing.
Actually, it's a room in the building out there in the student center. I went to the grand opening of it. They had a big ribbon cutting with Mayor Borgmeyer, and everybody was there. So I said, "Why don't you take it to the next level? Why don't you really get into this? Why don't you become one of these guys?" There's guys that screenshot their games they play and have millions of views on YouTube.
Yeah, and there's hot girls that do it that don't really care about gaming but sit around and pay. Brad, wouldn't your son's response to that, I don't mean to preempt your story, but wouldn't your son, his response might be, "Hey, I actually enjoy gaming. It's time for me to take time off. And if I made it a profession, it would appear as to be a job."
Well, I'm of the philosophy that make your vocation your vacation, and then you'll never have to work a day in your life. If you enjoy what you do, then to a certain extent, that's so with me. I enjoy what I do. 53, hard to believe, next year it'll be 54 years I've been in the radio business. There are days when I wake up and I think to myself, what the hell am I doing? I got to go on the air with that John Combest jerk again this morning.
Yeah, he's going to make fun of me. He's going to make fun of the fact that every commercial I've done in the last 5 years says, "Take it to the next level." Are you a podcaster but you want to take it to the next level? Try podcaster.com. Are you a podcaster but you want to take it to the next level? Buy my online guide. Well, maybe your son doesn't want to take anything to the next level. Maybe he's happy with the level he's at.
I thought you were going to beat me up about Real Talk because you beat me up about that last week. Real Talk.
Oh, yeah. Real Talk. No, not at all, Brad.
You know what? I have to
try him again,
I have to do one more time. I'm sorry.
Try him one more time.
I'm sorry. One more time.
Don't apologize, Brad. It's your son.
Yeah, it's my son. He's got an interesting sense of humor, too. It's hard to believe. I got 4 kids. Same mom, same dad.
Hey, same mother, same father. They couldn't be more different.
Drew? Are you there, Drew? Drew, do you hear me?
Yep.
Drew, do you hear me?
I do.
You're on the air, Drew.
Hello.
Can you speak up a little bit? I can hardly hear you.
I don't know. I'm at work.
Oh, you're at work. Oh, you're in early. Okay. I'm sorry. I bothered you at work. I just wanted to say happy birthday, and I love you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Love you, too.
Okay, bye. He's at work, John.
See, there you go. What he didn't say in that thing is, God, I hate this place. I hate Janet, who sits next to me, who's congested. I can hear her breathe. I hate Frank. He brings in fish at lunch, and it stinks up the whole place. I'm tired of hearing about Betty's kids. I hate this place. I can't wait to leave. Why can't Bernie Sanders pass universal basic income?
Yeah. Each one of my kids, my oldest son, Brett, my daughter, Amanda, my son, Blake, who we had on the air last Tuesday, and my son, Drew. I'll be honest with you. I didn't want to have kids. I didn't want to get married. And interesting story of how I ultimately got married. Interesting story how to have my first kid. My wife tricked me, and I wasn't happy about
and
that.
by the way, there was a shotgun involved in that.
Yeah, it was a shotgun. I can't imagine my life without my 4 kids. I really can't. I don't see them that much anymore. 3 of my kids don't live in the area anymore. Drew's the only one who's a local anymore. And I will see him tonight. We're taking him out for dinner. And I will see him hopefully very soon over the next couple of days. So, Drew, I love you. I can't imagine my life without my kids. How's that, John?
Brad, that's quite touching. And just think, Brad, based on how your gallbladder's going, that's probably the last birthday call you'll ever make to your kids.
Probably so. Okay.
We captured it on the air.
We have to take a break.